Once again, a very warm welcome to each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. All right, zero makes the difference. Yes, it does. Usually it doesn't, but over here it does. Zero Gravity or ZG Space City Malaysia, Zero Gravity ZG Space City Limited Offshore Company. These are some of the registered names of the company. That's the presentation we're going to share with you today. The Zero Gravity Group or the ZG Group, the lawyer consultants, the finance consultants, the trustees. It's a huge group. Now, here's an advice. If you feel I'm going too fast during this particular webinar and video, I would recommend you to go back to the person who gave you the video and ask them to give you a link of the PowerPoint. So you could slowly go through some of the slides that I might go through randomly quickly, right? So we're limited on the time here. So it's a huge group of companies, and you will realize that we have different business partners, including a Malaysian flag over there, the PKNS over there. You'll see a NASA logo over there, and so many other amazing, phenomenal companies. It's big. It's massive. Let's start with Space Tourism Society, the Malaysia chapter. Started in 2011, one of the chapters of Space Tourism Society, a non-profit organization registered in the state of California, United States of America in 1995. The Malaysia chapter was registered in the state of Selangor in Malaysia in 2011, and so on it goes about spaceport and a few other things. I'm just going to fast forward a few things over there. Space Tourism Society, the Malaysian project organization. Mr. Nurul Ridwan, Mr. Nurul Rafidi, Mr. Stephen Go, Dr. Sheikh Muzaffar. Mr. Nurul Ridwan is the president and the founder. Senior Director and founder of Cube Creative, Mr. Nurul Rafidi Zakaria. Mr. Stephen Go, Director of Zero Gravity Space City, Malaysia. Gentlemen, I had the privilege and the honor of meeting. Absolutely phenomenal person. And of course, Dr. Sheikh will talk more about him as we move forward. A bit of their experiences are listed, and you will realize that Mr. Nurul Ridwan Zakaria, someone who's got a degree with astrobiology, astrophysics, and is a board member of International Association for the Advancement of Space Safety and many other credentials, is an absolute gem being a part of this amazing Malaysian chapter. Mr. Nurul Rafidi has absolutely phenomenal degrees as well, with an entrepreneur mindset on being a part on board as one of the directors too. Followed by Mr. Stephen Go, absolutely phenomenal person. As I said, I had the privilege and the honor of meeting him in person. Really rich person, and yet an absolutely humble man. This is the person you're going to see in the media. You see in the media talking about Malaysia space tourism in Malaysian media lately. That's the man behind the scenes. His story and all is available on the PowerPoint. A few collaborations. One is this is a certificate of collaboration between Zero Gravity Space City Malaysia and the Spaceport Malaysia for making of zero gravity flight experience. The zero gravity flight experience is just one of the divisions of this huge collaboration that the company is doing among many other projects. As the PowerPoint unfolds itself, you will realize that. Another Space Tourism Society Malaysian chapter, then Mr. Stephen Go, an appointment as an associate director in Space Tourism Society Malaysian chapter. So that's another agreement mentioned over there. Work of collaboration, Altec, an absolutely phenomenal company, Advanced Logistics Technology Engineering Center. Their background is over there. They play a role. Under the work of collaboration, we have an absolutely phenomenal person involved from the University of Zurich, Switzerland, who plays an extremely important role in helping people with zero gravity flights. We'll talk more about that a bit later on. Another extremely important person, Dr. Sheikh Muzaffar, official ambassador of Zero Gravity Project under Space Tourism Society Malaysia chapter. On October 10, 2007, Malaysia's first astronaut, Russian astronaut and US astronaut took the Russian Soyuz TMA-11 spacecraft launched into the International Space Station. Yes, a very, very important and a famous person in Malaysia, one of the first astronauts, is the brand ambassador. That's enough on the company's credibility to start with. What is this all about? The Space Tourism Society's overall master development project. The first part of the project, first Malaysia parabolic flight, the zero gravity microgravity, available in the second quarter of 2016. That's more or less what we're going to discuss with you today. Local and international venues, government projects, science technology experiment with university grants collaboration with the Malaysian government as well. So that's your phase one, which we'll talk about where we stand right now. Phase two, where are we going with this? We're getting listed in Australia once the gross development volume reaches 25 million US dollars through the first project of zero gravity microgravity. When do we want to get listed in the Australian stock market? In 2018. And then what? And then the final and the most exciting and amazing phase, the actual space city. Gross development volume, 20 billion US dollars. A 30-year project located in peninsular Malaysia. Wow, that's massive by any standards. Here's a breakdown of the gross development value of the Spaceport Malaysia project. The Space City project, $20 billion. And you'll see all the timelines associated when they want to achieve. Spaceport, space flight terminal, runway of 4 kilometers length, total security system worth $7 billion. The master development will have its own runway. And this will be happening between 2017 and 2021. And then the pioneer state of zero gravity and many other things, as you can see in the breakdown. This is a company with absolutely phenomenal assets to back you when we move forward talking to you about their shares and how you could be a part of them. The first Malaysia parabolic flight, 0G. Brand new experience of flying under zero gravity, experiences the true weightlessness as you are in space. That's right, it is not a simulation, it is real. Creates a weightlessness environment on air, allowing you to float, flip, and soar. Cool, right? Unique spaceflight experience caters for all local and foreign citizens. So my friends in Dubai, South Africa, Philippines, and Denmark, or Pakistan and the United States, you're more than welcome to have this experience in Malaysia. How powerful that is. Behind the scene, here's the theory. Of course, if you put it on YouTube and put zero gravity, you'll see so many YouTube videos explaining the concept. A 45-degree nose height goes above 34,000 feet to a point where you go gravity free, and then it brings you down. Just in a nutshell. Here's one of the aircrafts that is used for this. Here's one of the medical team doctors, one of the first to experience that. Some pictures there for you. That's zero gravity flight experience in A310. How cool is that? They're commercializing that. Could you imagine that? Here are some other pictures. All right, moving forward. How could you be a part of a company that's massively growing? How could you be a member with us? Here are the packages. You can see stars on my left. 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star. So you could start with 500 US dollars. That's column number 1. It allows you 350 shares or units in the company. We'll talk more about that. It allows you to trade 300 units with the company at any given instance. It allows you to earn a commission. We'll talk about that on $400, and your maximum commission is 500 US dollars per person per day. Your dividends or spaceport unit rewards in 90 days is nil. Now that's $500. So some of you would be like, whoa, that's like too much. Hey, slow down. So don't worry, stay with me. We'll go back and forth and get some of those answered for you. So you could start with this company with $500, buying the spaceport units or investing kind of in the company from $500 up to $150,000. Now, what would be my ideal number? $10,000 onwards. Why? Because you will realize that $10,000, apart from all the benefits that you will get, you're also getting an extra 3% spaceport unit rewards, which means the company is going to pay you a dividend from the total profit every 90 days in the form of further spaceport units. So on 10,000, that's an additional 3%. On 50,000, that's an additional 5%. On 150,000, that's an additional 8%. So that's the additional. So we have the $500 is a 1-star package, $1,000 is a 2-star, $2,000 is a 3-star package, $5,000 is a 4-star package, $10,000 is a 5-star package, $50,000 is a VIP package, $150,000 is a VVIP package. You can pay the difference and upgrade as well, hence allowing you to get more units in the company. So that's on that slide. So advantages of the zero gravity space city model. It's an official business model. Unilevel marketing, you'll hear about that. Reasonable payout, 90% cash payout, ending calculation, we'll explain that. The company buys back 50% units when you sell them in the market. We'll talk more about that. With an official contract agreement, not only does the company give you an official contract agreement, but the contract agreement has absolutely wonderful clause protecting your capital 100%. And I'll show you a copy of that during this PowerPoint. You also get an official receipt on your name on which the company already has paid a 6% general sales tax on behalf of you to the Malaysian government. So the government knows everything that's going on because everything has been declared to them. Very powerful statement in this country. Capital guarantee, transparent transaction. And later on, when I do a live demo, you will realize how transparent the company is. No withdrawal limits, no limitation of top-ups, no limitation of upgrades, so on and so forth. Now let's go to the marketing plan. It's a very simple, straightforward marketing plan. Now I understand some of you are like, you know what, we are not interested, but since it's there, so just hear me out, okay? U is the alphabet U over there. It's a unilevel plan, which is one straight line. Every person who invests with the company through you is called your level 1. And you can have as many level 1s you want. 5, 10, 100,000, up to you. So everyone who invests in the company through you is your level 1. Now when this gentleman goes and shares this with another friend, that's your level 2. When that person goes and shares with another of his or her friends, that's level 3. So you get the picture, right? Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. So it moves forward. The deeper you go down the levels, the more people you have, technically speaking. Why? So let's say that you shared this business model, this video, this webinar with 10 friends. They're your level 1 and they invested. If those 10 share with 5 each, you've got 50 people on level 2. That's good. If 50 share with 5 each, you've got 250 people on level 3. And so it goes on. See where we're going with that, right? So the company says, we'll pay you 20% of a specific value of their investment, which is on the chart that I just went through at the back. 20% of that amount. Okay. Now it doesn't stop at 6 levels, it goes to 7th and 8th level too. But for to be in 7th and 8th level, there is a criteria. Now keep in mind, till 6 levels there are no criterias, but for 7th and 8th level there is a criteria. You need to be in a 3-star package, which is at least in a 1,000 US dollars investment package. The 9th and the 10th level also has a criteria. You need to be in a 4-star package, which is at least a 5,000 US dollar package if you want to enjoy the commissions on that level. The 11th and the 12th level has a criteria. You need to be in a 5-star package, which is at least a $10,000 package if you need to enjoy commissions on that level. Now, if you are someone who loves affiliate, if you're someone who loves networks, guess what? You would want to go up to 5 levels. Because as you go deep down the organization gets wider and wider. I'll just give you the example of that. So from 7 levels to 12 levels, there's one more qualification which I'll talk about in a minute. Now let's look at the commission payout. All your directs, you get 20%. On your level 2, you get 10. On level 3, you get 5%. On level 4, you get 4%. On level 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you get 3%. On levels 10, 11, and 12, you get 2%. That's how it works. So here's the other criteria. From level 7 to level 12, you also should have directly sponsored at least 5 people. 5 people, any package doesn't matter. Apart from the packages you need to be in. 3-star, 4-star, and 5-star respectively. With me? So that's the marketing plan. All right. Now, here's the good news. There is more to the marketing plan, but today we're not going to talk about it. We'll cover that in our training sessions. There is some technical expertise on how the shares work. I'm going to skip that too. I'm just going to go to the most important slide, which is not this slide, but the one after this. The the spaceport unit transactions. Now, this is an extremely important slide because this will explain how the system of spaceport unit works. The y-axis is the price of the unit. The x-axis shows you the number of shares. And I'll give you some real numbers now. In July 2015, the company started with the spaceport unit concept. So the spaceport unit or unit costed 0.1 US dollars. 0.1 US dollars. So the company's rule is every time there are people who invest, there are people who buy tickets, there are people who invest with the company on the other projects and stuff, on every 100,000 units sold. On every 100,000 units sold, the price of the share goes up by $0.001. 100,000 units sold, price goes up by $0.001. Again, $0.002. Again, $0.003. So it keeps on climbing up. Okay, so climbs up, climbs up, climbs up. Let's say it reaches 0.3. What happens now? Now, of course, a logical thing is if you bought the shares at 0.1 and the price climbed to 0.3, you've made some good money because you can sell your shares. We'll talk about that too. But at 0.3, something happens, we call it a split. What is a split? At the split, 2 things happen. 1, the price of the share, the value, the price, drops down to 0.15, but anyone who had shares prior to $0.3, their units or shares, I'm using word share, which also means unit. Okay, an appropriate word would be unit because the company is not yet IPO. So using the word share may not be right, just for investors who are pro in this, right? So both of them mean the same thing. So the company says that if you're already holding the units prior to 0.3, before the split, they will double. So if you had 1,000 units, times 2, they'll become 2,000 units, so on and so forth. So this cycle usually takes about 6 months. Okay, so this cycle is already over as I'm doing this webinar with you right now. This cycle or the split happened on 26th of January 2016. It took about 6 months. Okay, then what happens? I'm just going to skip the calculations. You don't need to worry about that. The same thing happens again. As more people start buying the units, on every 100,000 units, the price goes up by 0.01 US dollars, right? Going up, going up, going up, going up. Again at $0.4, all your units get doubled and the price drops down to $0.2. Now this cycle again should take another 6 months. So if you look at January, February, March, April, May, June, July, so the split or the second split should happen by about July 2016, but that is not what is happening. That is exciting. What is happening right now is the current price is 0.311 after the first split. So it is very close to 0.4 already. How is that possible? It means that there are extremely huge number of people flocking into this company with investments, and the company is massively making so much profit on different projects that they're pumping that into the unit value. That is what is happening. Good for us, good for anyone who already has units, because the value of the units increases a lot faster. See, that is why this project is time sensitive. Wow, cool. We can't go back in time and buy units at a lower price. We can't. We can only go forward. Unlike the stock market, that's why the units, while they drop, the company doubles them for you, so the value doesn't drop. So this is the second split at 0.4 US dollars. With me? Okay, and that is what got me excited, extremely excited. They're doing fantastic. Moving forward from 0.2, the same cycle happens again. The value goes to 0.5. We call that the third split. On every split, what is happening? The value doubles, right? Moving forward from 0.25, again the same thing happens. The last and the final split, the fourth split, happens at $0.6. The price drops down to 0.3. With me? Yeah. So at 0.3, what happens? The entire cycle finishes at 0.45 US dollars. So from A to Z. Now this entire cycle of 4 splits should take 6 months each. So that's 2 years. And the last small bit of the graph should take about another 6 months. So the company is expecting this entire project, this particular part of the project, to take about 2.5 years. But probably the company under-promised and over-delivered. But that is what is happening right now. It is not happening in 2.5 years. It's happening a lot faster than that. And that is powerful. Now keep in mind, as I shared this and I spoke about the splits and the double, even the profit that you make doubles with the split. Because when a split happens, your units double. So you get extra units. If you don't sell them, guess what happens to them on the next split? Even they double. That's why it gives a compounding effect. Powerful, isn't it? So the company says from A to Z, from start till end, we will sell 125 million units. It's done. We've done all the calculations and don't know exactly how much is going to come in and how much would be used. Now, what happens at that point, or even earlier? After the last split at 0.6, before we wrap up at 0.45. The company gives all investors two options. Option number one, sell back all the units to the company and proceed with withdrawal. I'll be happy to do that. I mean, that's crazy income. And I'll do a live demo to show you that. That's option number one. Option number two is transfer all the value one-on-one to the company's public listed share. So let's say you had units worth $50,000. So when the company goes public listed with the Australian stock market, you could get $50,000 worth of company shares. That's what option two is. All your units will be cleared from this particular phase that you saw in the form of a graph, and your data still is maintained. These are the two options that you have. Pretty cool options, right? So you got both the options, the flexibility is there. It's your call. Here's how the agreement looks like, and I'll walk through it a bit quick. So that's how it is. A very important point to realize, I'll say, when you sell your units, the company will buy back the first 50% of the units at the market price, and the following 50% of the units will be listed in the market. So this is what the company is saying, and it's written in your agreement, regardless of what package you are in. So the company is saying that when you sell your units, we'll buy back 50% instantly at the market price. The other 50% will go into the market. The company will not sell any of their units till all our units are sold first. How cool is that? Is there a restriction on selling the units per day? Yes, which we cover in the training, but you can sell all the units. The other important clause in the agreement is the company guarantees a full refund of the purchase price, keep that in mind, not the profit, in the event the purchaser does not make a profit from the said package 3 years after the full settlement of the purchase price. So within 3 years, if you don't make your profit, your capital is guaranteed. And what is the company guaranteeing? A full refund. What have you got to lose? I mean, I've been doing real estate investments for years in Dubai. I've got an award by the royal family of Dubai for my achievements in Dubai. And I was never given anything like this before. How phenomenal is that? So that's that. And of course, you can read this when you have the PowerPoint with you. So we'll do the Q&A in a few minutes. But yeah, thank you for watching this.